line for the first time. We're going to talk to one of our favorite dudes right here. Had to reach out to him to get him on the line because this guy right here, I'll tell you, we're all familiar with him here in the Texas area. And then when he all the cool things that he does, he's got a fleet of race car drivers that are unbelievable. Every now and then, this dude straps on the helmet, puts on those fire shoes and that fire suit, and goes out and this weekend wins. It is our man Donnie Wilson. Donnie, how we doing, sir?
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well, my friend. Thank you for checking in. So Donnie, I'm curious to know with you, what does it take for you? What is your criteria for when you put the driving suit back on, my friend?
Well, a lot of it just when I find a open seat for races that we have scheduled, it's kind of the main deal. Like last year, for example, when I went and ran Mobile, same weekend, Labor Day weekend, I had a slot where I could take a car and go have a little fun. So that's kind of, we had one car Geo going to Winchester, and I said, we're just going to take two. And that's kind of what we did, obviously it panned out for me. It's pretty cool to get back behind the wheel. It's been a year, so it's like riding a bicycle to a point. But, I had fun doing it. And that's my one race for the year. So that's I'm kind of full on everything else we got going. So no room for me.
No doubt.
So, Donnie, the question that I have, even back in the Romco days, when you're going down to San Antonio, you always seem to have fun down there at the big half mile, and you always like running the big half miles, Mobile, Winchester, all those. Is it just something that you just have more fun doing those races, or does it fit your driving style better? Talk about the relationship with you and these big old high-banked half miles.
I think it's just my driving style that I like. We grew up a lot, learning with these cars at San Antonio, like you're talking about, was a high bank racetrack. And, going to Mobile back in the early 2000s and Pensacola, and, of course, I've had a lot of success at Montgomery too, but it's a flat track half mile. But, I don't know, just suits my style, and that's what I like to do. So, it's kind of, I got a bucket list to run Milwaukee Mile. I've been trying to do it for the past couple of years, but I had too many drivers to run those races, so I couldn't do it. So that's on my bucket list next.
Nice. Donnie, talk about that part. I mean, you have put together a fleet of amazing drivers. I mean, your race team, the guys that you have behind the wheel of these cars. I mean, talk about some of these guys. I mean, it's young guys. I mean, they come in and they just do a tremendous job for you. I mean, speak to some of these great talents that you have behind the wheel of these amazing race cars.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate to get hooked up with a lot of these guys. It started with Cole back in 2017 from Canada, which he's still with me. And, he's still young, what we call, he's 27, but he does a great job on our stuff. And, now we got Gio Ruggiero this year. He's young, just turned 17 and, learning the ropes and trying to teach him, what it takes to win races. And, fortunately, both those guys won races for us this year. And then, obviously, you go back to William Sawalich last year and running some this year. We all see the success he's having. Jesse Love, he runs with us some, and he'll be at Toledo at the next race with us. You see the success he's having in ARCA. And then, obviously, you go back to Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith. You see where those guys are at. I've been really fortunate to get hooked up with these guys in the past. And then, obviously, with William Byron, and that happened, earlier this year and last year. And, they're great drivers, and all of them are. And we're just trying to teach them the best we can of, how these cars are. And they just like running them, apparently. But it kind of, helps them to further along their career if they have aspirations going to NASCAR. So that's kind of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Johnny, we're 3/4 of the way through this groundbreaking, unique season of SRL National and ASA National and stuff like that. Been a few bumps in the road, scheduling-wise. A couple of events may have been postponed, car count, scheduled on top of each other, whatever the case may be. What, from the car owner perspective, has anything jumped out at you as a surprise between both those series, or has it kind of worked out kind of like you thought with a little bit of cooperation and a little bit of not cooperation?
Well, I think, one thing that's plagued all of us this year has been the weather, and the rainouts earlier in the year, throughout the year. And I think that's the first thing. But, I think both series are professional series. The people that run both series are professional. they're doing their best. We're just trying to figure out, we need to get more cars to the racetrack. It's the economy's not the greatest this year, as we all know, thanks to our president. But I ain't gonna get in that. But we need to get healthy series and all work together a little bit. And we need to go back to where we had 35 to 40 cars showing up at every race. So I think both of them having growing pains. That's just the way it is. And I think we should look for better things out of both of them next year.
Donnie, you mentioned a while ago, you said about Cole Butcher. Yeah. How cool for you guys, back-to-back wins at the Oxford 250. It's one thing, to come up here and dominate the South and do all this stuff, but man, that shit up north is really cool. Talk about that. Yeah.
The stuff he does up north is actually his home team at home. That they're different cars than ours. It's not my stuff, but I feel fortunate just to be a part of him running our cars and his experience. And I mean, it's pretty awesome for him to go back to back. You know, he's, like I said, he's an awful talented kid. When I first met him, I swear he reminded me of a young Kyle Busch, and he kind of drives like it, and kind of helps our team also with our other drivers. So kind of a good deal for all of us.
So Donnie, in terms of the program moving forward for the rest of the year, you've got your drivers lined up, talk about Jesse Love and all of that. How do you end up scheduling that? Is it just a combination of where the drivers want to go? I mean, obviously, you got one standard driver that's going to be running all of them. I mean, do you just guys have a spreadsheet that you guys work out, or you used to call one guy and say, hey, do you want to run here? This is kind of your track or your track. How does that work, scheduling the drivers like that?
Well, the first, when the schedules come out first part of the year, we just sit down with every driver and kind of have a game plan, what they want to do, and, excuse me, what they want to do. Like Cole, for example, he just wanted to do the ASA stuff, and that's kind of basically his 10-race schedule for us this year, with a couple little, that come up he'll want to do, or he does do. Gio had a schedule, a pretty healthy schedule the first of the year. Jesse had when he wasn't running the ARCA car or committed to something else, he wanted to run as much as he could. So that's kind of how that all played out. Same way with Sawallich, we have him for 10 to 15 races this year. So, when he's bouncing off of the ARCA schedule. So, it's basically just keeping those guys racing all the time to keep them, working on the craft and trying to get better each week.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Donnie. In my opinion, it's been, as I've been watching here, the last couple of years, William Byron, who's jumped in your race cars and done really well. It seems to me his productivity on Sundays has gotten a lot better since he started doing some short track racing. In your opinion, is that something that has helped him? I think it has. Man. Well, I mean, yeah.
I'll just break you up and tell you that was his whole intention of doing this stuff, was to help him on Sunday. That's why Eric Jones is running cars like this again. And I think in the future you'll see others, because what they're telling us is the horsepower to weight ratio
makes more sense.
Of the super late models relates more to the Cup car nowadays than anything. So that's kind of why they're trying to do it. So
I love it.
And like I said, there's no telling how many you'll have at the Derby this year, those kind of caliber drivers, so I wouldn't be surprised you had 6 or 7, just like Chase Elliott running Berlin, running some other races with us, and like I said, it's, they just, like I said, they're trying to work on the craft with the minimal practice qualifying, stuff they got going on. They just don't have much track time besides the sim. So
that's right.
They're trying to do what they can to get the feel back in them, to help them out on Sunday. And like I said, I think it's helped quite a few of them.
So you mentioned the Derby. Let's talk about the Derby real quick. In terms of, just the mass of it, is the Derby itself almost too big? I mean, I know that sounds weird, but I mean, is it just too big where you're getting, 60, 70 cars trying to go? You're only going to get 35 or so in the show. I mean, is it just too big of an event, or am I just thinking outside the box too far?
Nah, I think you're thinking outside the box. Oxford had, what they have, 58 cars, for that
almost
38 car field. I mean, so I mean, that's, it is our Daytona 500 or whatever you want to call it, our biggest race of the year. So that's, we're going to attract them, so.
Yeah.
Tim Bryant does an excellent job obviously at Five Flags Speedway, and it's a great event, it just, in my opinion, it's a great event, obviously it's our favorite race of the year. Besides, some other ones, it's hard to, there's 5 or 6 of them you can throw in a hat and pick one out and it's your favorite. It's just kind of the way it is anymore.
Yeah. So after winning this weekend there at Winchester, doesn't that make you want to jump in and go race a 400 again and win that sumbitch again?
No, I mean, I would, but I got 3 other guys going that weekend. But I mean, hey, I honestly, I love what I'm doing. I'm getting older, but I still love to jump in the seat. And I mean, it's just I didn't expect to win this weekend. I expected to run top 5, it's high hopes, but it just kind of worked out. Some people had some misfortune with running over some stuff and puncturing tires and stuff. And, like I said, one of my own cars, same thing with 8 laps to go. We was going to finish 1-2, and it just didn't work out that way. So I was the beneficiary this weekend, and it's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I haven't won since 2017, so that's kind of that's kind of cool. And one for the old guys, I guess. We can still do it. So
that's right.
I'm not. I tell everyone I'm not done yet. So I mean, if like next year, if there's things come up, I'll get back in the seat and race some stuff I want to race. That's kind of the way it is. But
I love it.
I'm glad. I'm happy with what we're doing, what we've built at Wilson Motorsports. And we've, we try to win every race, and we've been fortunate to win some every year. So, and we've had a lot of good drivers, talented drivers come through our program, and hopefully that doesn't change. We'll keep doing it as long as we can.
That's right.
So, Donnie, we know this is a racing show, and you talk about racing, and we're glad you're on it after you win. Let's talk about your football team for a minute. You think this is a good rebound year for Coach Venables up there in Norman?
Well, I hope it is. I mean, the first game looked pretty good, but like I tell everyone, I don't even know why we have polls or anything like that out until the 5th or 6th, 7th week. I mean, it's just kind of, they shouldn't even have polls and just play the game till get halfway through the season, then we'll figure it out. But I think they'll be okay. I mean, are they going to go undefeated? No. Are they going to be better next year? Yes. So. Going to be tough for Oklahoma and Texas both, to go into the SEC next year. It's a tough deal, but both of those, Texas and Oklahoma, are strong teams, and they'll figure it out, and they'll be more competitive, I think, than people think. So it's going to be good. That's good for college football, and I'm a big college football fan. I mean, I got season tickets at Oklahoma and always have, and. That's kind of the only thing we have besides the Thunder in this state. So,
right.
Oh, you mean you don't go to Stillwater?
The good days for the Thunder's long gone. So, I mean, it is what it is. But
I love it.
Feel pretty good about our football team this year. Hopefully, they'll win 8 or 9 games, and hopefully maybe more than that.
There you go.
So
there you go.
That's kind of what we're hoping.
Yep, both of it, like you said. I mean, both of us, you guys and us, going next year. It's time to go. Time to go play with the big boys. So we'll see how that.
Time to go play. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure is.
Just like you did this past weekend, my man. You jump back in there and you win the race. Congratulations, dude. Super excited that you were able to jump on with us. Congratulations, dude. Go get some big wins here for your team at the end of the year, my friend.
Well, that's what we're shooting for. We got guys working hard, and my drivers are working hard. So that's the plan. And if it works out, maybe we'll get 1 or 2. It's tough competition every race.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's getting so close anymore. You look at qualifying, so close. Can't be off very much. But we've had if you look at super late model racing this year, you've had a vast. A lot of different winners. Bubba's winning races.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Majeski's winning races. Talented guys, won tons of races, but other people won too. So that's good for our sport, and hopefully look forward to, like I said, more wins, and just keep doing what we're doing.
That's right. That is right. Thank you for jumping on, my man. Looking forward to seeing you at some of these races at the end of the year, brother. I'll come shake your hand.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for calling.
All right,
Thanks.
man. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
You bet.
All right, bye.
There he goes, Donnie Wilson, and I love that. When I saw that he jumped in and won, I'm like, I didn't even know that was on the calendar. I think that's one of the good things when it comes to a dude like Donnie is it's like, man, he's got that fleet of drivers that he talks about, and how great is that for him? I mean, we see, there's